The next morning, Stan looked up and gave a groggy glance out the window. When he saw the red and blue wool blocks decorating the top of the courtyard wall, he immediately jumped out of bed. It was an important day. As he walked downstairs from his room to eat breakfast in the castle common room, Stan remembered that the previous night the moon had been barely a sliver. It would be dark tonight. The common room, with its paintings, a fire in the netherrack fireplace, and chairs in a circle around the room, was also decorated with red and blue wool. This was probably Archie's work. He always did love Elementia Day more than anybody else, despite the fact that it had been Blackraven's idea to start the tradition almost immediately after the creation of the Republic. DZ and Charlie were already awake, and they were sitting by the refrigerator, eating today's breakfast, prepared by the Imperial butlers, which turned out to be pumpkin pie.
Stan, how about never Monday, old buddy?
Said DZ through a mouthful of pastry.
Sorry,
he added, as he gave an enormous swallow.
I said, Stan, happy Elementia Day, old buddy.
Thanks, DZ, said Stan with a smile. I can't believe it's really been 4 months.
4 months ago today,
replied DZ, imitating Archie's deep announcing voice which he would use at the ceremony in the park later that evening.
The moon was dark as it is tonight. On that day our beloved President, Stan 2012, defeated the tyrannical King Kev in battle and created the Grand Republic of Elementia. Now, 4 new moons later, we celebrate that victory.
That's actually pretty good, Charlie laughed. What kind of stuff does Archie have planned for this Elementia Day?
Well, there's the usual pig races, sparring tournament, and reenactment of the battle, said DZ. But I think we all know that the highlight of today is going to be the Mechanist's new tennis machine.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I gotta say, I'm excited about the races too, said Charlie. I put down a big bet against Kat saying that Bob is going to win the race.
Really?
What about Zoe and Porky? Stan asked, referring to an acclaimed racer and her pig.
Yeah, that's a good point, Charlie, said DZ. Those two have won that race every Elementia Day so far, and this is Bob's first time.
What makes you think he's going to win?
'Cause it's Bob, replied Charlie.
He's got a stronger bond with Ivanhoe than any I've seen, and that includes Kat and Rex.
On that note, replied Stan,
where is she anyway? Kat was usually the first one up in the morning, and none of them had seen her yet today.
I saw her leaving the castle really early this morning with G. I can't say she looked very happy about it. He looked hyped, though, answered DZ.
Charlie sighed. Those two, they're just...
I know, man, DZ cut in, shaking his head.
Some people just don't have any class, he added wisely. DZ, you have pumpkin flesh dripping from your left nostril, Stan pointed out as he pressed the refrigerator button. A pumpkin pie popped out, which he caught in mid-air. I really don't think it's Kat's fault, though, said Charlie as DZ wiped the orange goo from his upper lip. She is just over-clingy. I honestly don't get why she puts up with him.
Well, I think she's just...
started Stan, but he was cut off when Archie burst into the room, his chest heaving from lack of breath.
Archie! All set for the big day, are we?
Asked DZ as he wiped the pumpkin goo off his finger and onto his trousers.
Yeah, but that's not why I'm here, said Archie in one breath.
Stan suddenly stood up straight. He knew something was wrong. Archie, what happened? He asked.
Ben just sent me a messenger. Apparently, when he sent a scout to report to him on the condition at the jungle base last night, the scout came back and told him the base had been hijacked.
What? Stan asked, dropping the rest of his pie on the ground. What happened? Who took over the base?
Well, the scout said that when he approached the base, he was shot at by figures in black tunics and caps that were patrolling the watchtower on top.
The room was filled for a moment by a stunned silence. Then DZ threw his hands in the air and yelled,
"Oh, come on!"
Do you mean to tell me that our jungle base was taken over by the...